What if the Social Security benefits you've been counting on for retirement suddenly changed? A major new proposal from the government could reshape the entire Social Security system, and the ripple effects might hit your wallet sooner than you think. In this video, we're diving into the proposed reforms and what they could mean for your monthly benefits. Whether you're already receiving Social Security or planning for the future, these changes could have a direct impact on your financial stability. We'll break down what's being proposed, who's most affected, and what actions you might want to consider right now. Stick around until the end for a key detail that could change how you view your retirement plan. Welcome to Financial Area, where we keep you informed on the financial news that matters most. If you find value in this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates that help you stay one step ahead. The proposed Social Security reforms have stirred significant attention, and at the center of the plan are a series of structural changes that could reshape how benefits are distributed and funded. One of the biggest shifts under consideration involves raising the full retirement age. Currently set at 67 for those born in 1960 or later, the government is proposing a gradual increase that could push the full retirement age closer to 69 or even 70 in the coming decades. This means individuals would need to work longer to receive their full benefits, or accept reduced payments if they choose to retire earlier. For many Americans, this change could alter long-standing retirement plans and increase financial pressure in later years. Another major component of the reform proposal targets how benefits are calculated. Right now, Social Security benefits are based on a worker's highest 35 years of earnings. Under the proposed changes, this formula may be adjusted to account for broader economic conditions, wage growth, or even lifetime earnings in a new way that could lead to lower benefits for higher earners and slightly increased benefits for lower income workers. The goal, according to policymakers, is to create a more equitable distribution system that reflects economic disparities. But critics argue it could penalize those who have contributed more into the system over time. Perhaps the most controversial aspect of the reform involves changes to payroll taxes. Currently, only wages up to a certain income limit are taxed for Social Security purposes. The proposal includes lifting or even eliminating that cap, meaning high earners would pay Social Security taxes on a much larger portion of their income. This could help generate more funding for the program, which has long faced concerns about solvency. However, this change is expected to face political resistance, especially from those who believe it amounts to a tax hike on success. The combined effect of these reforms, raising the retirement age, modifying benefit formulas, and increasing taxable income, marks one of the most ambitious attempts to overhaul the Social Security system in decades. The impact of these proposed Social Security reforms won't be felt equally by everyone. One of the first questions on people's minds is whether current retirees will see any changes to their benefits. According to initial reports, those already receiving Social Security are likely to be grandfathered into the current system, meaning their payments would remain largely unaffected. However, future cost of living adjustments and benefits tied to spousal or survivor status could still be influenced depending on how the final version of the reform is written. For those who are close to retirement, the changes may begin to take effect just as they enter the system, which could significantly alter their financial expectations. Younger workers, especially those in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, are expected to bear the brunt of these reforms. If the retirement age is pushed higher and the benefits formula is recalibrated, this demographic could face a future where they pay more into the system but receive proportionally less in return. For millennials and Gen Z, this could add pressure to prioritize private savings and long-term investing much earlier in life. Middle-aged workers may be caught in a transition zone, too young to be exempt from the changes, yet too old to fully adapt their financial strategies before retirement. Income level is another critical factor in how these reforms could play out. Lower-income workers may benefit from the revised benefit formulas aimed at promoting equity. Their retirement payments could actually increase slightly as the system adjusts to favor those with limited earnings histories. On the other hand, middle and high-income earners may see their expected benefits shrink, particularly if the formula changes, reduce payouts at the top end, or if new tax burdens are introduced. Self-employed individuals might feel a dual impact, as they are responsible for both the employee and employer portions of payroll taxes. If tax thresholds rise, their contributions could increase significantly without a corresponding rise in future benefits. The proposed reforms also touch on Social Security's disability and survivor benefits, two often overlooked but essential parts of the program. While these benefits are not the primary target of reform, adjustments to funding and eligibility criteria could ripple into these areas. There's concern that tightening the budget for the overall system might lead to stricter qualification standards or slower processing times for disability claims. Survivor benefits, especially those provided to spouses and children, might also be reassessed, depending on how the financial structure of the program evolves. For families that rely on these benefits, even small changes could have life-altering consequences. As the possibility of Social Security reform becomes more real, many individuals are left wondering how to protect themselves financially. While the final version of any legislation is still uncertain, it's clear that proactive planning will be more important than ever. One of the first steps is reassessing your retirement timeline. If the retirement age increases, you may need to work longer than originally planned, or adjust your savings strategy to fill any potential gaps in your expected income. For those who haven't yet started contributing to a retirement account outside of Social Security, such as a 401k, IRA, or other investment vehicle, now may be the time to start building a private safety net. Another important consideration is diversifying your income sources. Relying solely on Social Security has always carried some risk, but with the proposed changes, that risk becomes more apparent. Financial advisors recommend exploring options like annuities, dividend-paying stocks, or even part-time work in retirement to help reduce your dependency on government benefits. Paying down high-interest debt now can also improve your financial flexibility later, especially if benefits arrive later or in smaller amounts than previously expected. Many financial experts have voiced their opinions on the proposed reforms, with some applauding the effort to stabilize the program and others warning of unintended consequences. Economists who support the changes argue that they are necessary to ensure Social Security's long-term survival, especially as the population ages and the worker-to-beneficiary ratio continues to decline. On the other hand, critics believe the reforms place an unfair burden on future generations and lower-income workers, and they worry about the political feasibility of pushing through such sweeping changes. Public response has been mixed, with some polls showing concern over benefit reductions, and others indicating support for higher taxes on wealthier Americans if it means preserving the program. As of now, the timeline for these proposed reforms is still fluid. They remain in the discussion and drafting stages, with lawmakers expected to negotiate key details in the coming months. Even if passed, most of the major changes would be implemented gradually over several years. That gives individuals some time to prepare, but it also means the final outcome is far from guaranteed. Keeping an eye on legislative developments, understanding how each version of the proposal could impact your financial situation, and making informed decisions now could make a significant difference in how secure your retirement will ultimately be.